This is BTV.
Quest Uranium has been studiously exploring for uranium and rare earth elements in Ontario and Quebec. Here's their story.
The company was originally launched as a uranium exploration spin-off of Free West Resources Corporation. And we advanced our projects in earnest in the uranium field, but in 2007 we were successful in staking the Quebec side of a known rare earth deposit known as the Strange Lake. We made subsequent high-grade rare earth element discoveries in the general vicinity of the deposit, leaving us with the belief that there was some significant opportunity and growth opportunity in the rare earth space.
Rare earths are increasingly in demand for use in the high-tech industry and green technologies, particularly in items like cell phones, flat-screen TVs, and solar panels. Currently, China supplies 97% of the world's rare earths.
Since the rare earths have now become important components in high-tech industries, they have become extremely valuable. And even more so now that the Chinese have threatened imposing all-out restrictions or certainly increasing their export quotas going forward.
So what exactly are rare earths?
It's a series of about 14 elements and 3 other associated elements that are the principal characteristics that distinguish the rare earths with the rest of the metals in the periodic tables. They're extremely reactive, extremely stable, but in particular they retain their physical properties in very high temperature environments, such as hybrid motors, such as the turbines, wind turbines, such as hybrid batteries in cars and automobiles.
Once a mining camp has been established, it's common for geologists to search for further deposits close to the existing zone. In this case, Quest's optimism paid off.
Once you find one deposit, as a geologist, you are always of the assumption, or optimistic anyways, of the assumption that there are others around there. And with that type of approach and philosophy, we had identified several new zones within a 10-kilometer radius of the Strange Lake deposit, one of which was one approximately 3 kilometers northwest of the Strange Lake itself.
The deposit's called Strange Lake, and it was originally explored many years ago by the Iron Ore Company of Canada. So Quest went in looking at this old deposit, and they made a new discovery, which is quite fantastic.
The assumption by the old operators was that it was related to a boulder field that was transported material. Our field crews in 2008 actually defined a zone at surface that they believed to be representative of a bedrock source. We followed that up in early 2009, and by the middle of July had realized that we came into a very significant zone, brand new zone of heavy rare earths again.
Quest has what appears to be a large deposit developing up in Quebec, adjacent to one that's in the Strange Lake deposit in Labrador. The advantage that Quest has in their deposit is it's got a lot of the heavy rare earths. Those are more valuable. So that's what I like about Quest.
As the crow flies, we're approximately 125 kilometers west of Voisey's Bay.
With the deposit situated a fair distance from civilization, what infrastructure is available?
There's an esker, which is a glacial deposit, which in itself constitutes very good road building material that goes eastwards to Voisey's Bay as a primary transportation route for any of the material that we would delve out of the new deposit. If the deposit were to become a mine, it would obviously be a local or fly-in type job, or they'd have a remote camp, much the same as you have currently at Voisey's Bay and Raglan, the copper-nickel deposits that Xstrata has up in the northern part of Quebec.
Quest has experienced good fortune not only with the discovery of the new deposit, but also managed to benefit from the downswing of the financial markets.
Because of the slowdown in the industry, it provided me with the availability of very good people, and the people that I brought in also have discoveries in their background. I think that's very important. Because of the machinations of the market, we've been fortunate that our market capitalization has increased significantly. But in comparison to our peers with similar deposits of similar size and grade, our market cap is a third or less. So we really see that as we advance the project and bring our realization that we're dealing with a large resource to fruition, that our market capitalization will grow in concert with that.
Quest recently announced a new rare earth discovery on their Misery Lake property in Quebec. You can keep tabs on this dynamic, well-funded company through their site, QuestUranium.com, and through their symbol on the TSX Venture Exchange, QUC.